You know what's crazy? Millennials trust YouTubers in their bedrooms more than certified financial advisors.
Almost 80% of millennials and Gen Z have said they've received financial advice from social media sites like TikTok.
Think about it. Wall Street firms spend millions on marketing, have teams and analysts, and manage billions in assets. Yet, these influencers with zero credentials are stealing all the trust. Here's what nobody is talking about. There's a hidden psychological system that finance YouTubers use to build trust faster than any Wall Street credential ever could. And I discovered it through a journey that changed my life. I still remember sitting in my room at 17, making iced coffee at home to save money, filling my notebook with tips from Graham Stephan videos. I was completely obsessed. Every day, I would spend hours watching their content, convinced that these YouTubers held the key to financial freedom. What I never imagined was that years later, I got the opportunity to work behind the scenes with the very YouTubers I once looked up to, including Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank. Suddenly, I wasn't just watching the show, I was backstage, seeing how it was produced. That's when I realized that success wasn't about what most people think. It wasn't fancy equipment or natural charisma. And today, I'm going to break down exactly how Mark Tiberi and Graham Stephan built more trust in 10 minutes than Wall Street managed to build in decades. By the end of this video, you know how to use these same techniques to build your own audience, even if your videos get under 1,000 views. In fact, I've created a free 3-step AI prompt that helps you write word-for-word scripts using any news article. I'll share that with you at the end. But first, let me show you the first psychological trigger that finance influencers use to build instant credibility. Let's be honest, most financial content is boring as hell, but it doesn't have to be. When Graham Stephan talks about making your own coffee instead of buying Starbucks,
the secret to literally all of my success, everything, my millions of dollars, boils down to just this, the 20-cent iced coffee. It's liquid gold.
He's not just giving random money-saving tips, he's showing his viewers that he shares their values. This creates an instant connection with the people who care about small, everyday money decisions. This is what I call reliable authority, and it's something finance influencers have mastered. They've discovered how to maintain their position as experts while still feeling like a trusted friend who simply understands you. First, they are reliable. They share personal stories that viewers see themselves in.
When I was selling fish door to door, just imagine wiping the sleep dust out of your eyes at 4 in the morning, heading down to a freezing pier and sitting for hours until you'd caught enough mackerel to sell for a profit.
He's not just telling his life story, he's connecting with anyone who's ever worked hard or faced tough times. This reliability makes his success feel achievable because he started somewhere that viewers can understand and relate to. Or when Graham Stephan talks about making his own coffee at home, despite being a multi-millionaire, it signals to the viewers that I still think like you do. And here's what most people miss. Reliability isn't just about humble beginnings, it's about showing the process. When finance influencers share their day-to-day decisions, they're creating connection points that make their expertise feel accessible. Second, they are honest about mistakes, but show how they overcame them. The reality is that perfection doesn't build trust, authenticity does. When finance influencers share their mistakes and learning experiences, they're not being careless, they're actually being very calculated. Psychology research calls this the pratfall effect, where admitting imperfections actually enhances perceived competence when coming from someone credible.
My crypto portfolio was worth $1.16 million. Today, my portfolio is worth $500,000. And if you add the losses in crypto to my stock losses of $110,000, you get $660,000 of losses.
When Andre Jig openly shared how he lost $1 million in the crypto and stock market crash, he didn't hide his mistakes. Instead, he explained exactly what he learned, how he adjusted his strategy, and the principles that helped him recover. By showing both the fall and the comeback, he actually strengthened his authority with his viewers. Now contrast this with traditional finance advisors who rarely admit mistakes. Okay, when was the last time your financial advisor called you and said, "Hey, sorry, I was wrong about the investment"? It just doesn't happen. And that silence creates a massive trust gap. Now the third builder is that they are consistent. Finance YouTubers show up regularly with the same message and style. Mark Tiberi viewers know exactly what to expect from his videos, not just when they come out, but how he'll explain things with a straightforward, no BS approach. When he consistently shows the same principles over time, it builds trust. This consistency creates a feeling of reliability that is super important when talking about money. These three triggers, reliability, transparency, and consistency, they work together like a trust triangle. Reliability creates the initial connection, transparency deepens the trust, and consistency reinforces it over time.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
And this is exactly why finance YouTubers build trust so quickly, while traditional advisors struggle despite superior credentials. They understand that trust isn't just about expertise, it's about connection. But here's what most people miss. Building trust is only the foundation. The real magic happens when you combine this trust with specific content formats that actually convert viewers into followers. In fact, finance influencers like Mark Tiberi or even Robert Herjavec use 5 specific content formats that drive massive engagement. First is story videos. In this video, Mark doesn't just list investment strategies, he weaves them into a compelling personal narrative about his journey from selling fish door to door to becoming a multi-millionaire. This storytelling approach makes money concepts feel personal and memorable. It creates an emotional connection with the audience. They learn about his struggles, his failures, and wins. This turns Mark from just another expert into a friend sharing wisdom. Story-based finance videos typically generate significantly more engagement than pure information videos. Why? Because humans are hardwired to remember stories, not facts. But here's something even more powerful about the next format. Second, challenge videos. This video, where he invested $5 a day for 1 year, demonstrates the power of small, consistent actions.
I'm kicking off a year-long challenge to show you that investing $5 a day doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice and can lead to real, measurable return.
These challenge videos are powerful because they show real results with realistic amounts of money. The brilliance of challenge video is that they combine entertainment with proof. When Mark reveals his returns after a year of $5 daily investments, he's not just sharing information, he's providing evidence that his strategies work in the real world, even with small amounts of money. Finance channels that regularly use challenge videos often see faster subscriber growth than those who don't. Third is documentary style videos. In this video, Mark takes viewers on a journey with a real beginner, showing her fears, decisions, and results. The documentary format allows Mark to address common objections and fears directly through the beginner's experience. When Laura shares her worries about investing, viewers with similar concerns see themselves represented, making the eventual success more believable for them. This is crucial because many people don't invest primarily because of fear, not lack of money. By showing someone overcoming those exact fears, these videos create a pathway for viewers to follow. But if you want to establish true authority, you need the next format. Fourth is educational content. In this video, Mark uses storytelling techniques to deliver valuable information in an engaging format. When Mark walks through different investment options from low to high risk, he's not just educating, he's guiding viewers through a decision-making process that feels personal and actionable. The key difference between finance influencer educational content and traditional finance education is the ease of understanding. They break down complex concepts into simple frameworks that anyone can understand and implement immediately. And finally, the format that creates the most urgency: news breakdown videos. In this video, Mark breaks down complex economic events like tariffs in simple terms. These videos position him as a trusted guide during uncertain times. The power of news breakdown is that they address what's top of mind for people right now. When markets are crashing or economic policies are changing, viewers desperately seek clarity, making them most receptive to guidance. By making sense of confusing situations, Mark becomes a voice of reason amid chaos, building trust precisely when viewers need it most. These videos often see high click-through rates because they tap into immediate concerns. These 5 content formats create multiple pathways for engagement that appeals to different learning styles and viewers' needs. From emotional storytelling to data-driven analysis and timely market insights. The difference between you and YouTuber is that you actually have the credentials to back up your advice, something that most YouTubers can't claim. So how exactly do you combine professional expertise with these engaging formats? That's where the third component comes in. And it's why you have the biggest advantage over influencers, if you know how to use it right. While influencers often have to dance around their lack of qualifications, you can actually lead with yours, but in a way that feels accessible rather than intimidating. Finance influencers have mastered what I call casual expertise, the ability to explain complex concepts without talking down to their audience. They make viewers feel smart rather than making themselves look smart. First, lead with your credentials, but make them relevant. Unlike influencers who might hide their lack of qualifications, you can lead with yours, but frame these credentials in terms of how they can benefit the viewer. Instead of just saying, I'm a certified financial planner with 15 years of experience, say, my 15 years as a certified financial planner has shown me exactly where most people go wrong. I'm going to help you avoid those mistakes. Do you see the difference? One statement is about you, the other is about how your expertise helped them. I have seen financial advisors transform their introductions from credential focus to benefit focus. And the difference in engagement is immediate. When you position your expertise as a solution to their problems, people lean in and listen. Second, balance personal stories with facts. When Mark Tiberi shares his investment journey and how I made my first $10 million, he also explained the principles that made it work and supports them with practical examples. This balance of story and evidence creates both emotional connection and credibility. This balance is crucial. Too much personal story without facts feels like just one person experience, while too much data without story feels dry and boring. Third, use visual demonstration to make complex concepts simple. Let's say, for example, when explaining compound interest, they show it with visual aids that make the concept immediately clear. These visual elements bridge the gap between abstract financial concepts and real understanding. This is why most financial professionals completely miss the mark. They assume their audience understands financial terminology and concepts that they spent years learning and using in Wall Street. This is just simply facts, okay? The most viewed finance videos are those that use visual demonstrations to make complex ideas simple. People watch and share what they understand, and they understand what they can see. Now, even with all these psychological components, most finance YouTubers are playing at the surface level. Your expertise allows you to go deeper while still remaining relatable. This authentic connection creates a virtuous cycle that reinforces the trust you have built and enhances the impact of your content. When viewers feel genuinely connected to you, they are more likely to implement your advice, share your content, and become advocates for your expertise. Okay, let's recap what we have covered. Number 1 is trust building techniques. Build authority through reliability, transparency, and consistency. Number 2 is that content strategies that convert. Create engaging formats through story videos, challenge videos, documentary videos, educational content, and news breakdown videos. 3 is building authentic connection. Position yourself with casual expertise by leading with relevant credentials, balancing story with facts, and using visual examples. But here's the thing, the window of opportunity won't stay open forever. As more financial professionals catch on to these techniques, standing out will become increasingly difficult. The early adopters will capture the majority of attention, just like the finance YouTubers did 5 years ago. Now it's your turn. If you're a finance expert wanting to build a personal brand and want to save hours creating content, I've created a free 3-step AI prompt that helps you write word-for-word scripts using any news article. Just click the link in the description to get instant access. If you found this valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this.